Today we're going to discuss a lesson about how you can have freedom from the minutia. You are the most important person, and protecting yourself is key. There are many ways you can do that, but today we're going to focus on one lesson of many: freedom from the minutia through calendaring. Most people think being bound to a calendar is like being thrown in prison and locked up. However, it's just the opposite if you do it right. See, when you block and plan your time out, you're protecting your work, you're protecting your family, and most importantly, you're protecting the most valued commodity you have, your time. If you don't control your time, someone else already does, or someone else will. In this lesson, we will show you how to protect and basically manufacture time. Success is predictable. Think about that. Repeat it. Success is predictable. This may sound crazy, but it is undeniable. People who are successful repeat what works. They find those niches. They find those things that just set them apart and continue to repeat them. Think about your daily routine, your weekly routine, your monthly routine, and yes, even your yearly routine. There's habits there, events, and things you do that will stand out when you start to put the puzzle together. Sometimes it's things that stand out that's not necessarily great. It can be a bad habit or bad events, but you don't know it because you don't have it down. You're not looking at, you're not putting the puzzle together to see the whole picture. See, the key is to keep what is beneficial and remove all the other clutter out of your life. I can already imagine everyone panicking over the complexity they think it would require to be predictable and calendar everything. And this is where most people just give up. But all you have to do is take a deep breath and dream of a simple kiss. Yes, that is it. A simple kiss. Think back to a simple kiss. Maybe your first kiss. Was it good? Was it bad? Was it okay? Was it great? Thing is, it doesn't matter as long as you kiss. But see, most things in life we tend to just overcomplicate, like kissing. But it's not complicated. What makes it seem complicated is the scenarios we build up around circumstances in our head. For instance, is she going to hate the kiss? She may slap me. She may embarrass me. Whatever it may be, then that keeps you from ever experiencing a kiss. So to avoid all this, you just have to kiss. Kiss. Keep it simple. Stupid. Don't overthink it. Just keep it simple. Most of us can't do that. We want to overcomplicate everything. We want to talk ourselves out of something, or say, "Oh, this would cripple me, or this would hinder me, or this would make me feel like I'm tied down to something that I'm not." See, conquering the balancing act of life, which is your work, your family, and your time, is important. I found that most people can generally ace one or the other. They're great at having family time. They're great at blocking it out, or they kill it at work. Or maybe they're just the grand master of me time. They know how to pull away and take care of themselves. Yet, a limited amount of people have figured out how to conquer balancing all three areas of life at the same time. And this is important because almost all of us have more than one area that we need to focus on at one time. So, in my opinion, it goes back to what we just discussed. They forget how to kiss. They forget how to kiss. I'm going to start here to help you see how simple it can be to conquer the balancing act of life. What is important? What is most important? Rate these 1 to 3. 1 is the most important, 3 is the least important. The answer to this is different for each person, depending on where you are in life. Also, the answer to this question can change for each of us at different times in our life. Look at this question and answer it honestly about where you are in life today so you can build the foundation and protect it by moving ahead. Don't worry about, hey, where you want to be. Don't worry about where you think you're going to be or where you don't want to be. Where are you right now? Rate these where you are right now. What's most important to you? 1, to what's least important? 3. Even if they're all important, one has to be more important than the other at certain times in your life. So right now, what is that? What is the most important from there? Now, the beauty of what we are assembling and learning today can change, as I said, as your life and priorities change. However, if you don't learn to conquer the balance of life now, then you're not going to recognize when your priorities are changing as well. Okay, you're just going to be floating through. Nor are you going to be able to conquer the balance then. So if you can't conquer your balancing act now, if work is most important to you right now, and then you have a family, kids, and that becomes more important, you're not going to know how to balance it your whole life then either if you can't do it now. So you got to start somewhere. And you may be in the middle of all this. And so sometimes it's a little more difficult depending on the season of life you're in. We're going to start and break this down by scheduling blocks. What you do here is you have each of the columns, work, family, you, and this is just an example. Okay, this family is number 1 priority, work number 2, you number 3. Again, I want to stress that everyone's scheduling blocks at different times of their life are going to be different, and that's fine. These are just some basic and common blocks I've seen over the years. So let's start with family. As you see here, family, number 1, supper, school, events, church, breakfast, whatever it may be, work, calls, emails, prospecting, meeting clients, company meetings, daily organization. Exercise, fun, reading, lunch, rest, whatever that may be, and then these columns can break down from there. We're going to start there with the basic ones. Now, my wife works in the school system, so we work some work blocks there may be, as you can see here, making lesson plans, parent conferences, school functions, etc. But it doesn't matter where you are. I'm going to go back to this real quick. If you are, a business owner or whatever you may have, these things in the work area will change based on where you need to be, what your most important parts of work will be. The main thing is just don't forget to keep it simple, okay? Keep these blocks simple. This is supposed to help you simplify your life, not complicate it, okay? So here's some easy other blocks that you can look at. Vacations, family time, date nights, exercise, prospecting, meetings, church, lunch, sleep. These are all important things, but some of these are higher and lower priority for different people at different times. Now, start time blocking with the schedule blocks from your first priority. Okay, we're going to take your calendar, and your first priority on this particular one was family. So you start with this to ensure everything here gets the most attention and the best time slots to enable you to accomplish your needs and wants easiest. So family time was a number 1. So we're going to block out, okay, on there it said breakfast with family. Okay, we're going to have breakfast. We're making sure that's blocked out. Nothing else can take away from that. Dropping kids off to school, blocking that off. Nothing else should be scheduled during that time. Events with family. Okay, we have some events over here that are going to happen every Saturday or approximately those times on Saturday. Church is important to you, then you block that time out. Nothing can be scheduled during that time frame. And then you just keep on. Look, supper with family, block the times off. Now these times may vary. Some people, me personally, my family is early. We're normally around 4 or 5 o'clock. Normally done with supper around 5 to 6, depending on activities, ball games, date nights, whatever you may have. You put these in here, and they're blocked off so that nothing else can get scheduled. Then you go to your second priority. Okay, you got your first priority put in there. Again, this particular example, family was first. Second priority is work here, okay? When you move into the second priority, you should still have plenty of time left on your calendar. So we're going to start entering all the schedule blocks accordingly. This example we were using in work, hey, calls, reply to emails, prospecting, client meetings. We're going to block those out. Is this something we're going to do every day? Then we put it in every day. If it's something you're going to do twice a week, you would put twice a week. 3 times a week, 3 times a week. You plug it in. Again, this is an example of what you want to do. This example here came from someone who was wanting to grow one of their business. So most important to them to grow the business was prospecting, calls, and when the results of the prospecting and calls and replies to email was setting up meetings with clients and their company, and then back to prospecting. So as you can see here, prospecting, and meetings to follow up those prospects was most important. So that's what went on the calendar. Very simple example here, and this just leads into the afternoon with client meetings. As you can notice, I'll go back, prospecting, meetings, calls, prospecting, getting this afternoon, meetings. So they're leaving those blocks for the prospecting time blocked out, calls, reaching out to potential new clients, and then leaving time blocks for meetings. So when somebody says, hey, I want to talk to you, they have on their calendar blocked out times that they can meet with them and hopefully close their business. And then third, we're coming in this scenario was you, okay? So family, you got a family, your family was first. You have work, so work is second. And then last comes you, your third priority in this scenario. You fill in the holes that is less. The most important thing here is to get everything on the calendar, okay? We may have to shuffle some things. Here are some examples is stay at home and just rest. All right, lunch, quiet time, exercise in the afternoons, read, golf. Okay, these are some examples of you. You're plugging into the schedule. All right, go to sleep. Try to be in bed between 9 and 10. And so as you can tell, it's filling up. We started with our first priorities, got our second priorities, still had time for our third priorities with this, which is us. Now the calendar is built. As you look at this and see that everything's on here and good, did everything fit accordingly? Do you feel happy with the flow of the calendar? If you do, then great. The only thing left is to begin to follow and allow the calendar to guide you in every appointment you make moving ahead. If you don't feel comfortable with what you have, no big deal. Shuffle things around until it makes sense without sacrificing your top priorities you have established. So what that means is if your top priority is family, don't say, oh, I really need more time for work. And you take away what you said, hey, this is most important. I want to block off for family time. And like for instance, in this was eating breakfast with the family, eating supper with the family, dropping your kids off to school. You say, I really want to get to work earlier. Well, then the only way to do that is sacrifice what you said was most important. So you got to think about that. Don't do that. The reason we started with number one is because it was an open calendar and you said this is what's most important. You start there and then you build. So you don't want to sacrifice your most important for your last important or your second and most for your first. You want to build first, second, third, and make your life balance and work through that process. Now this calendar is for you. This calendar is to be used to protect your time. Sometimes you have to protect your time even from yourself. As I stated earlier, you're going to control your time or someone else will control it for you. If you're predictable in your routine, you're going to form habits. And this schedule is going to allow you to have good habits. And it's also going to be worth following. Remember, success is predictable. Learn to kiss. Keep it simple. So as you're going through this, make sure you understand this is for you. This is not for anybody else. This is not to keep you bound up and feel confined. This is to protect you from the outside appointments, the outside world, the outside distractions. Because when somebody says, will you do this at this time, or you automatically say, let me check my calendar. No, I can't but I can here and or here. You are protecting your time. But if you don't know and you don't have this together and somebody says, can you do this? And you're not following this and you haven't created this schedule, you haven't created this habit, more than likely you're going to say yes. And then it's going to be at the same time that your kid's school play was, or your round of golf that you schedule with your buddies. And then it's going to get you off whack. It's going to get you off balanced. And then the process starts over again. So put this in place. And then when somebody wants to do something outside what you have scheduled, you just simply say, sorry, I already have something on my calendar. Don't have to say what. I already have something on my calendar at that time and day. However, I do have these blocks open. What works best for you? Thursday at 2 or Monday at 2? Now, as always, if you like this, but you're unsure how to stay on track, reach out for other lessons and we can help you moving in the best direction. And this is just one lesson on calendaring, and there's many more to come. So as you want to get deeper with this or any other areas that we could help you with, reach out, visit us at thecoryway.com, and be happy to see anything that we can do for you.